His red Vauxhall Corsa barely moved from the driveway to the point weeds were growing on it.
Hold on. What? His Vauxhall Corsa on the drive barely moved, hence it had weeds growing on it. In the last video, Richard made some really good points and he had a theory of his own. Make sure you guys go and check out the last video if you want to understand Richard's theory, why he believes Anne savagely had her life taken. I said in that video, I want more perspective on this. I want to understand how other people are feeling and what they are thinking. So in this video, we're going to delve into a compilation of videos whereby people are going to be sharing their views, opinions, and thoughts on Anne Widdecombe. Now, I must stress that I haven't vet checked any of these videos. I'm going to be reacting to them firsthand for the first time. I haven't seen any of them. So please don't take anything personal. It's just views and people's opinions. Some of them might be nasty, some of them might be nice. I literally at this point couldn't tell you. But what we're about to do now is dive in, so hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if we are newly watching, and let's check these out.
The stories took a very interesting turn, hasn't it? When Anne Widdecombe was killed, firstly, we were told that there was no evidence of a political motive, no evidence of terrorism, and people were warned once again not to speculate. Fast forward to now, breaking news coming out, and now the counter-terrorism police have taken over the investigation after what they're calling new information and evidence. Now, isn't it just kind of funny how we were sugarcoated instantly about this situation? That it was a white British male and it wasn't terrorism and it wasn't motivated, it was just a house burglary. Yet this guy travelled 30 minutes from his home, killed Anne Widdecombe and then drove 30 minutes back. You cannot tell me this was not politically motivated. Like, just think about it, right? Someone allegedly drives hundreds of miles to a specific address, attacks a high-profile political figure, and then drives home again. And we were told instantly, don't worry, this isn't politically motivated. Like, we should demand to know what this significant evidence was that's enough now for the counter-terrorism police to take control of this entire case, right?
So as far as I've been told, the reason why the counter-terrorism police are now involved is because of the gadgets and the things that were found in the raid. So when they span his yards, things that were found in that yards that told them, actually, this is something else.
Because whatever the evidence is, whatever it is clearly enough to change the direction of an entire investigation. So yeah, as always, the mainstream media and the system has been caught out sugarcoating the public once again so we don't get infuriated by the truth of what's actually happened, therefore lying to the public. In my opinion, just my opinion. But you know, let's see what the facts lead to, because right now, in my opinion, once again, there is a lot more questions than answers about the death of Anne Widdecombe. And I honestly reckon the truth of the situation of what's actually happened would make the entire country boil over right now. And they're just not quite ready for it. I don't know, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Anne Widdecombe's death now is getting taken over by the counter-terrorism police after us being told it was definitely not a terrorism or politically motivated situation.
Apparently the killer must have known that Anne Widdecombe was home because a show was aired days before she was killed. That was basically her showing everyone around her home. Now, this was a Yorkshire auction TV show. It was aired in 2022. What, and nearly 5 years later, they're going to do a repeat of the show. Conveniently 6 days before she dies. Conveniently days before, when she speaks of an establishment and how she feels let down by them. Basically, she's going to speak. She's going to speak further.
And you got to think, like the other person said, 30 years deep in politics, 30 years deep in government. What does she know? What does she know that we don't know, or some of us feel like we do know, but we don't have the facts that back it? What is it?
I wish these whistleblowers didn't give the heads up. Don't speculate on the situation. We've got every right to speculate. The country is fucked. We have people losing their minds. People are being bludgeoned to death left, right and fucking centre. And let's have it right, we've all lost trust in the authorities. We've all lost trust in the government. It no longer exists. The people that still have trust, I pity you. The higher-ups are still holding on by a thread because you guys still exist and still believe. I can't quite put my finger on it yet, why this has happened. Usually I come up with my own speculation. I'm quite open to say everything that I speak about, that side of things will be an opinion. You'll know when it's facts, you'll know when it's opinion. And my opinion is on this, I don't know, even the people close to her, their speeches ain't coming across genuine to me.
I mean, she's not lying there.
People are openly celebrating the fact that an elderly woman has been bludgeoned to death. We saw it with the Charlie Kirk assassination, and I made my views on that very clear at the time. I didn't agree with people taking to the streets and celebrating a man being shot in broad daylight, in footage that his family would have seen, his wife, children. This was a family man, this was a religious man, this was a man who had a lot of controversial opinions that a lot of people didn't agree with, including myself, but I still would celebrate that death. I still think it's so insensitive to do that. And listen, I'm no prude. I had a huge smile on my face when Ian Huntley got exactly what he deserved.
Facts. When it's people like this, though, like, obviously, we just have to say it as it is, bro. Like, this is a guy that's a predator. These are the guys that you have hate for.
I will be raising a glass if and when Jamie Varley and that disgusting piece of shit partner of his get what they deserve in prison. But to celebrate the death of an innocent woman, and I'll repeat that, yes, an innocent woman is fucking weird.
Big up Joey, man. He said it bang on the money. It is super weird, like.
Now, initially, Devon and Cornwall police said that it was not a politically motivated murder, in their opinion, and they were not looking into terrorism as a motive or anything like that. However, after
Gotta pause it, bro. I don't even know. I'm sitting in shorts and a t-shirt, and I am bloody sweating.
Arrest of a 28-year-old man in Rotherham in Yorkshire, who has been charged, I believe. Has he been charged? You can correct me on that.
No,
He's been arrested.
He hasn't been charged. I want to know where they're at with this. Like, how long is it going to take for you to charge this, Donny? If they don't have evidence to prove that he done what he did, and the evidence that they're going to need is that he was in the yard, his DNA's in the yard, his footprints are in the yard. I mean, if he goes no comment all the way and they don't have any hard evidence on him, there's a strong chance this guy could just walk. Struggling to understand, like, what is it that they do have on this guy? Like, what do they have? Do they have the weapon that he used? Like, what do they have?
Of murder. That's more like it. I don't want to get my facts wrong. They have now said that they are working very closely with counter-terrorism police and that they do believe it is politically motivated. I did hear, and this is hearsay, so take it with a pinch of salt, this is not necessarily the truth, that the person they've arrested has learning difficulties. Please try and corroborate those facts for me if you can. I don't want to speculate on anything. I want to make sure I've got the facts. Now, I've seen it in a couple of places, but I want you guys to make sure for me. He may have had learning difficulties. He made this massive journey over 200 miles down to Anne's, and he did it in a very quick time without any stops or anything, and he was very quickly arrested because he was caught on CCTV. This is what we're being told. Now, he does not fit the description of the stereotype that most people who are quite blinkered go straight to when they talk about terrorists. He is a homegrown terrorist, if you like, if he is indeed proven to be a terrorist. So that's what we have up to now. So the whole script has flipped, and we need to know, I suppose, what his motives were, what caused him to go down there. There was an interesting thing, actually, that there was a TV show which aired 2 or 3 days, I believe, before Anne was tragically murdered, and it was an antique show where they showed the inside of her house and kind of her property. So we don't know whether that could have been an indicator of where she lived and how she lived and what she had in her house. You know, so we'll wait and see what happens before anybody speculates. We can talk about it in the comments, obviously. That's a private chat. We're not going to put any false stuff out there for people to believe are facts when we don't know what the facts are. But that's what we've been told, and that can be checked and verified on the news and in the newspapers and by the police statements themselves.
No, I agree, man. Obviously, nobody's putting out information that's not true. You know, speculating doesn't mean you're putting out information that's not true. People are just trying to work things out. That's all it is. People are just trying to work things out. People are trying to understand, you know, how this has happened. And in order for you to understand how this has happened, you've got to look at different possibilities, different scenarios, right? It's not to say, oh, we're putting these scenarios out there and saying, oh, well, this is exactly how it happened. No. No one's doing that. I think people online are now scared because of the way the government have been trying to silence us, the way they've been putting out these campaigns, trying to take freedoms away. You know, that's the problem here. He told you not to speculate and you started speculating. 12 years in jail.
An update on the suspect who murdered Anne Widdecombe. Neighbours have said in Rotherham a few things about him. One, he had learning difficulties. He's a loner who didn't seem to work and rarely left his house. He went loopy and more introverted once his father died before Christmas, who he had moved in with around a year ago. Okay. He was someone you'd have a conversation with, but that changed after Dad died. He became very quiet. He kept himself to himself and wouldn't really speak to anyone. His red Vauxhall Corsa barely moved from the driveway to the point weeds were growing on it.
Hold on. What? His Vauxhall Corsa on the drive barely moved, hence it had weeds growing on it. This is the same Vauxhall Corsa he was opening the door, had something in his oh my God, what are we talking about? Hold on, this is not making any sense to me right now. So if his red Vauxhall Corsa hadn't been moved for months from the driveway to the point it had weeds growing on it, then what car did he use to drive 500 plus miles that day? This is not making any sense whatsoever. Let's continue listening to the information here.
He is one of three brothers. One is believed to live in Devon and his other brother and mother live locally. A neighbour saw him place some kind of wooden stick in the passenger side of his car before leaving at 7 a.m. on the morning Widdecombe died. He is believed to have driven
So we've got more misinformation. They're leaving at 7 a.m. Hold on, we see him at the door of the car at 10 to 8. So how can this neighbour see him leaving at 7 a.m. unless he left, went somewhere and came back? The neighbour says they saw him placing a wooden stick in the passenger side of his car before leaving at 7 a.m. Misinformation at its finest. Someone lying there. It could be a genuine mistake. They thought it was around 7 o'clock, so they've said 7 o'clock, but that's a good hour difference. But this neighbour see him placing the stick in his car. So they're basically telling us the same footage that we got to see. But the only difference is that time was 10 to 8. It wasn't 7 o'clock.
170 miles to Devon before Widdecombe was attacked at home around 12:30 p.m. that day. That is the latest news and update. Now, this may well be a very fair and appropriate, accurate depiction of the individual to the T. Let's just say it's all accurate. The constant framing, though, of white perpetrators as individual lone wolf crazed people is a system of media supremacy. It allows them to constantly make that, even when a culture of violence exists everywhere and is permeated in all behavior with Eurocentric views, the country itself, that they're able to frame it in this way and just make it out like he's an individual and once he's in jail, everybody will be safe. That's not true. We need to keep investigating and understanding what the motive was, because that is not a motiveless act. Anyway,
exactly. It's misinformation, man, and that's what the media are really, really good at. And then they will sit people down on sofas acting like, oh no, it's the people online that are spreading the misinformation.
Well, I'd like to say I was shocked about the comments I'm seeing on here about Anne Widdecombe, but I'm not, because we saw it all with Charlie Kirk. It's them same people with so much hatred in their hearts that are saying the most awful things about that poor woman who's had her life taken in a brutal way, it seems, in her own home. Like, what is wrong with you people? I hold that much hatred for people who take the lives of others in brutal ways, for people that hurt children, not for people who I don't share the same opinion as, or I don't like what's coming out of their mouth.
Exactly.
Talking about people.
It just goes to show you how delusional people are. And that goes to show you how divisive politics is.
That I don't like what comes out of their mouth, that bloody Anne Russell. How 3 million of you want to listen to what comes out of her gob on a regular basis, I will never know, but each to their own. Who the hell...
I don't know who Anne Russell is, by the way. I don't know.
Just that righteous woman thinks she is. Suggesting that if there's an afterlife, it's not going to look good for Anne Widdecombe. Why? Because she holds different opinions to her. What a righteous... Anyway, Like I said, not shocked. It's just so sad that so many of you hold so much hate towards people that just don't have the same opinion as you.
Because you need to know. I'll come on to that in a moment and explain to you. Now, first of all, can I say over the last few days, we've had gossips, nosy parkers, right? Speculation shamers, as I call them, having a go, saying you shouldn't speculate, you shouldn't share your concerns. Well, actually, can I tell you, those people that were sharing their concerns, etc., have been proven right. Yes, they've been proven right. Just look behind me, you'll see it. Yeah? And the question now, of course, is where does this go? If Anne Widdecombe was here today, by the way, she would be saying, use your free speech to uncover the truth. Yes, push, push, push until you find the truth. And that's what a lot of people have done. And coming back to where it goes now, well, apparently there's no one else involved, as I understand it right now, so we will have to wait and see. But certainly what will happen now is that the investigation will deepen. I think more will come out, and also people working in politics now at a senior level, they need some form of protection, I think, especially those that are a member of one particular party that we know. Those people definitely need some kind of protection. I thought they had it, but apparently they don't. I think that's a disgrace. Anyway, what happens next?
With all the money that they're making, bruv, it shouldn't be hard to go and get a few bodyguards and security guards to walk around with you every single day.
Here's the thing that doesn't sit right with me. Devon and Cornwall Police say they won't release any further suspect descriptions in the Anne Widdecombe case because they don't want to compromise ongoing inquiries. That's fine. That's the explanation they're giving now. But here's the obvious question. When the description was white male, they didn't seem to be any concern about compromising the investigation. That information was released without hesitation.
Exactly. There's the contradiction. There's the lie, isn't it? Because if you don't want to give away the suspect and you don't want to jeopardize your chances of bagging this suspect, then why are you letting the world know you're looking for a white guy? Like, you should have just been, we're looking for a Brit. We're just looking for a Brit. We're looking for this British man. You know? No, we're looking for a white Brit.
What's changed? If releasing a description risks the inquiry now, why didn't it risk it then?
Exactly.
The police need to be consistent. Either releasing suspect descriptions is helpful to the public or its investigation, or it's something that should be withheld to protect inquiries. Changing the approach depending on the circumstances inevitably raises questions and fuels public scepticism.
And speculation. You know what I mean? I think that's what he wanted to say, but it does. That's exactly. It makes us skeptical and it makes us speculate.
People aren't asking for special treatment. They're asking for the same standard to be applied every time. Exactly. Consistency builds trust. Inconsistency undermines it. If the police want the public's confidence, they need to explain clearly why the policy appears to have changed, rather than leaving people to draw to their own conclusions. Prove me wrong.
Nah, man. Big up Mr. Unknown. He hit every single nail on the head there, bruv.
Every time you get more information about what had happened with Anne Widdecombe's murder, it just seems to switch it up, like, immediately. Oh, we did tell you this, but really, no, it actually might be this now. So the Widdecombe Terror Probe, counter-terror police are leading Anne Widdecombe's murder investigation. Now, they've been telling us that it's not terror-related. Basically, if it was politically motivated, then it classes as terror-related. But they said, no, it's not. Now they've come out and said, no, actually, it is, well, looking like that if there's counter-terror police on it. But let's see what it says here. In case you didn't know, that bloke that you just see there, who they're blurring the face of, we're not allowed to know who it actually is for some odd reason. A 28-year-old British man from Rotherham, I know he must be the only white bloke there, was arrested on suspicion of murder on Saturday. The suspect was captured on CCTV climbing into his car, what appeared to be a large baton or pole, more than a foot long, bulging from his left pocket on the day she was allegedly beaten to death. It also emerged, you should see all the lefties and how they're celebrating this as well, you fucking freaks. It also emerged that Miss Widdecombe gave a tour of her £600,000 Dartmoor house for a television programme broadcast just 5 days before she was allegedly murdered. Yeah, so the show featured the kitchen where she was found dead, as well as the property's front door, driveway and grounds. The suspect, who the Daily Mail's not naming, was arrested after a dozen armed officers descended onto the council house in South Yorkshire. Until today, Devon and Cornwall police have insisted that there was no evidence to suggest the killing was politically motivated. I think you've got a lefty loony who has gone and done this. But again, it's all just very, very strange. Very, very strange how it... Now it's making more sense, though, with the whole TV show being shown. And then suddenly 5 days later, she... Yeah. Okay. Well, if we get more news, if we get an identity on the bloke, I'll let you know. But they've blurred his face and everything. Usually the papers are dead on it immediately. Like, oh, we're going to tell you everything about this bloke and his family. But no, they're not doing anything at the moment. Weird.
There is a lot that needs to be done and understood in order for them to then start saying, oh, well, this is who the guy is. This is what his background is. This is who his family is. This is what he used to do. Like, for all we know, this could be some random Don that's just being thrown under the bus because he's got learning difficulties and he can't defend himself. Like, we don't know. Like, we literally don't know. Anyway, let's leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I just want to get a bit more perspective on how other people are feeling at this moment in time. Big up every single person that has made it to the end of this video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are newly watching. Big up all the new subscribers. We've got plenty more videos uploading. Don't go anywhere. Just turn those notification bells on and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.